Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Berry Television Africa again. Thanks for joining me. And today we are going to start off with news that came out yesterday, being Monday. It was reported on Guardian's newspaper, Nigeria, that Buhari legacies on trial as Emefiele ex-ministers face 3.5 trillion graph probe. 3.5 trillion graph probe. And people took issues over that title, Buhari's legacy. They say it should have been APC legacy because it is those that ministers that were working in the APC government, and that it shouldn't be Buhari's legacy. But besides that, if you remember the former President Buhari, let me quote him here. I told everyone to hold firmly to the trust given to them because one day, even after I leave office, their actions may be exposed. Everything, be, everything will be reviewed based on what you did while in office, since government records contain everything. And let no one call me to defend them. They should go and defend their own actions. That was a quote from Buhari, January 2023. So, does that mean that the former president, may his soul rest in peace, knew what was going on, that he made this statement that let no one call me to defend them? Unfortunately, we lost him. So now that he's no longer here with us, who are they going to call? Recall that there were a lot of borrowing during the Buhari administrations, and the former vice president then Osinbajo was in charge of the economy then, and he was in support of borrowing to invest, and that we are going to feel the pain now, but in the long run we are going to benefit from it. But you remember how many people lost their job under Buhari administration, and the company folded up, and the economy went down so bad. And but some also are saying there are some names that are not been mentioned. Somebody like Fashola and Osinbajo and Amechi and some other Yoruba name particularly. And so APC lay this foundation that we are going through right now in Nigeria. We can all remember when Jonathan was in charge, things were fairly okay. And after he handed over to Buhari, things went down so badly. So Some also are questioning why it should be um, Buhari's legacy, because the only legacy that they remember Buhari for is that of banditry, and kidnapping, and that we are still facing today. That will be another topic of the day, another day. Well, guys, that is what we are going through right now. And another area of concern, however, will be that of the judges that are in place. There is no trust in our judiciary. Our judiciary is corrupt. Some also talking about that they were complaining about the borrowing, because they were borrowing and also looting. So that was the two things going on. I remember Minister of Transportation, Amechi, he was pretty much in charge of railway and all that. He was very big on borrowing from China to fund the train and all that. And I remember when people were criticizing him about all train that he was bringing in to the country, he said, well, that is what they feel like doing right now. That when it's your own turn, you can, that we have to start from somewhere. And when it comes to your own turn, you are going to, do whatever you will feel like is good for the nation. That this is what he felt like is good for the nation. And he did his own part, and he's gone now in history. But the record book is open, just like Buhari warned them that they shouldn't call him. Because I remember when he said, if they catch you, don't call me, yo. That was Buhari then. Today is the day he was talking about. So now that he's gone, the record book is open, as he said. When he said that everything will be reviewed based on what you did while in office, since government records contain everything. And let no one call me to defend them. That is, we have to underline that. Let no one call me to defend them. Buhari said that. The late Buhari said that. So, part of the corruption that we are facing today also affects those in government. For instance, today there was a news that came out that Akpabio, Senate President Akpabio, is hospitalized in London. Remember how much they invested in that Aso Rock clinic when Buhari was sick during that 8 years. They spent tremendous amount of money. Yet Buhari died in London. Yet Senate President Akpabio is in London. And all of them have been going to London for treatment. Why is it a cause? Do they cause Nigeria or their leaders or their brain that they cannot fix their own house? They rather go to the different house to get something to treat themselves. Is there any cause that is on Nigeria that leaders are not being held responsible of their action when they have the power to change life and change things in the nation. This is something that we should all be worried about. Is it true that Nigeria was not ready to be independent or to be ruled by themselves? Does that mean we have a different brain that we cannot change our own situation, improve life? Nigeria at this age cannot be boasted for 24 hours electricity, no good roads. The economy is shattered. People come from graduate from school, they don't have any hope that they are Nigerian, that when they finish their NYSC they are going to get a job. This is so sad and depressing, and that is why kidnapping and criminality continues. We have to change our way of thinking and doing things, guys. This is getting out of control. All we hear is about stealing. How about that guy that stole 80 billion naira I think from NNPC? His own case is dead. Nobody talks about it. We, the masses, are the ones suffering because all these criminals, their children are not in the country. They are outside studying, and then when they come back, they are going to rule us. This is pathetic, and things has to be changed. And the youths, I think we have to get up and challenge the status quo. I don't know it all, guys. I want to hear from you, from the comment section. What do you think is wrong with this picture? That every government comes and go, and there is no positive change that we can record. That, oh, when this person was the president, this is what he did and this is what he did. It's all about corruption. So let me hear from you from the comment section, so that let's keep the conversation going. I'm Barry, Television Africa, and I want to thank you for joining me, and I want to again appreciate your following the page. And if you have not done that, please, I will advise that you help follow the page to grow and share it to other people so that they can join the conversation. Thanks again for joining me. Have a good day.